Austin freaking Reaves of the Los Angeles Lakers doing things I can't imagine, doing things that blow me away night after night. Does anybody see this but me? Austin Reaves has become the greatest undrafted NBA player ever. And the truth is, it ain't even close anymore. Austin Reaves has risen farther, faster, given expectations, than any player ever, and it ain't even close. This is a 1,000,000,000 to 1 shot. Just to refresh your memory, Austin Reaves is from Newark, Arkansas, not exactly a basketball hotbed, even though both of his parents played at Arkansas State, for what that's worth, but they did play college basketball. This is a town of 1,180, about an hour and a half northeast of Little Rock, Arkansas. This is where Austin Reaves grew up as a skinny white kid wanting to play a black-dominated sport of NBA basketball. And in high school, at a smaller, lower level of Arkansas State basketball, Austin Reaves was a star, I dare I say a superstar. His senior year, they won the state championship, and he averaged that year 33, 9, and 5. Again, small, it's Class 3A Arkansas State high school basketball. But they won the championship, and in one of those playoff games, Austin Reaves scored 73 points. And the other night, after he'd scored 51 for the Lakers in a win at Sacramento, he was asked, is this your career high? And he said, no. If you're asking, and he's humble to a fault, such a nice guy, Austin Reaves. He turns into somebody else on the basketball court, almost the way Brady, I'm not saying he's Tom Brady, but almost the way Brady turned into Psycho Tom. Austin turns into Psycho Austin on an NBA basketball court. But he was asked after the game, career high? No, I scored 73. And he ticked off every single stat from that game, knew it cold inside and out, because, and I don't throw this word around loosely, he has basketball genius about him. He then went to Wichita State, as you probably know, but pretty much busted there, just never clicked. Nothing ever really worked, and he transferred to Oklahoma, had to sit out a year, put 20 pounds on his frame in that redshirt year, put a tiny bit of physique on him, a little musculature, nothing to write home about. But at Oklahoma, he was pretty good. I watched a whole lot of his games, having grown up an Oklahoma football and basketball fan. And he did okay his senior year at Oklahoma. Remember, he stayed in college for 5 years. Nobody who's any good in the NBA stays for 5 years. You just don't. You're gone after 1 year. You're one and done. If you have any real all-star type future. So he averaged his last year at Oklahoma 18, 6, and 5. Not bad, but the problem was his junior year he shot 26% from three. In his senior year he shot 31% from three. And I watched a bunch of his games, and not once did I ever say, there's an NBA player, 6 feet 5 inches, still looked rail skinny, didn't play strong. You could tell he had flair for the game, feel for the game. But on the NBA level, would that translate? Well, nobody thought so. Even though he says that he was told that Detroit wanted to take him near the bottom of the second round of the draft. I think it was 42nd overall, maybe more mid. That's what he said. But he claims, I'll take his word for it, that he told the Pistons no. He grew up a Laker fan, and he wanted to be a Laker, and he already knew that the Lakers had made overtures about signing him as an undrafted free agent. He wanted to play with LeBron James. So many players don't really want to play with LeBron because he's going to be the center of that universe. And sometimes it can be pretty intimidating. He can be demanding, not the way Kobe was, but in his own way, he can put players on notice through the media. And who wants to subject themselves to that? Austin Reaves did. So right away, according to LeBron, the first time they just had a practice, I think it was a preseason sort of pickup type scrimmage game with some of the Laker players, LeBron says he knew right away, I want that guy on my team because that guy knows how to play basketball. And here he came. His first year, he averaged 7.3 points, but you saw flashes. He had a big walk-off shot at Dallas. He was not afraid. He competed his butt off. He went at any and everybody on NBA floors without fear, without conscience, without hesitation, nothing tentative, no deferring. No, he just went for it. And when he had a shot, he took the shot. And LeBron basically called the last second play for him and made sure that AR-15 took the pass from LeBron to take the last second shot. I think it was a 3 against Dallas that beat Dallas at Dallas. Second year, he improved pretty dramatically because that first year he shot 32% from 3, which was a slight improvement over OU days. And he shot 40% the second year from 3. 40%. I'm saying, where did that come from? Well, it came from getting in the lab, getting in the gym in the offseason, working your tail off to improve your three-point shot. 40%. Then the third year, it goes up a little more. He averaged 16 a game. That's pretty good. And shot, again, 37% from 3. That'll work. That'll work at this league, at this level. And then, boom, last year, 25-6. He averaged 20 a game and continued to shoot 38% from 3. Highly credible. You can work with that. Playoffs, it's always gone up. He's more of a 40% playoff taker-maker from 3. Wait, what's happening here? Because you can see that most of these teams, except for, I guess, Detroit and the Lakers, would look at Austin Reaves as a potential 2-guard, as a skinny white guy. And yeah, I think there was some anti-white bias operating because nobody does that. You got your 7-foot white guys, your 7'3" white guys. You got your freaks, such as Chet Holmgren at 7 feet, but he's an athletic freak. But 2 guards? I mean, Michael Jordan was a 2-guard. Kobe was a 2-guard. LeBron is basically a 2/3. I don't know. He's somewhere in there, but he also is. He's a point guard at heart, by birth. He's a point guard. And it got to the point last year when Luka joined that I started saying, this is the greatest 3-man backcourt in NBA history. And I'm doing it mostly because of Austin Reaves. He's got genius about him. He is a gifted passer. He's not quite to the level of LeBron and Luka, but they're 2 of the all-time greatest passers in the history of this game. Pure genius. 2 of the greatest scorers in NBA history. You have to play alongside and figure out how to blend. And you not only blend, but you star. You flourish. The most trustable playoff player of those 3 last year was Austin Reaves. They didn't feature him nearly enough, and they got gentlemen swept by Minnesota in the first round. And I'm saying, wait a second, am I missing something? And I look back at 2 games last year and now 2 games this year in which Austin Reaves went solo with no LeBron and no Luka. It's happened 4 times now, fairly recently, 2 last year, 2 here of late this year. Maybe you remember these games. 3 of them have been on the road. Let's start with the home game. The Indiana Pacers, they were really good last year. No LeBron, no Luka. Austin Reaves goes 45-7-7. What? I mean, those are all-star numbers. Okay, so that's a one-off aberration, outlier. Then he goes to Denver last year. No LeBron, no Luka. And he goes 37-8 and 13 assists. Wow, that's pretty good against a really good Denver team at Denver. This year, just of late, at Sacramento the other night, Austin Reaves went 51-11-9. I repeat, 51-11-9 in a Laker win at Sacramento. What? 51-11-9? Those are all-star numbers. And then finally, with no Luka and no LeBron in a back-to-back on Monday night at home against Portland, they did lose the game. It's a tough turnaround. But he goes 41-4-5. And remember, the crowd's going to be a little distracted because the Dodgers are playing a home World Series game. Tough turnaround, tough circumstance for the Lakers, again, without LeBron and without Luka. So not exactly a small sample size without the 2 megastars. That's 4 games of fairly recently here. And in those 4 games, check this out. 4 games, no Luka, no LeBron. Austin Reaves has averaged 44 a game. He has averaged 8 rebounds per game for 4. He has averaged 9 assists per game for 4 games. He has shot 54% from the floor as the primary scoring option for the Lakers without LeBron and Luka. He shot 46% from 3 when obviously the defensive focus is going to be on Austin Reaves as the primary offensive option. He has made 95% of his free throws. That's 53 of 56 free throws in those 4 games. I mean, these are Hall of Fame numbers, and I'm not saying Austin Reaves is Hall of Fame bound. I'm just telling you they're star numbers. He is screaming to you, I can be a star in this league, not just a good player, not just a routine starter. He can be a 2-guard star in the National Basketball Association as a Los Angeles Laker, even without the 2 megastars. And I hark back to a game back in 2023, I believe it was. It was the year Boston won the championship. The Celtics, they were the best defensive team pretty easily, on a roll, on their way to winning the championship on the night of February 1st. A Thursday night at Boston. There's no LeBron and no Anthony Davis for the Lakers, who pulled off a momentous, just a monumental upset, a shocker, really, of the whole season. Lakers win that game 114-105 because Austin Reaves went for 32 points in that game against the best defensive team in their building. 10 of 17 from the floor, 7 of 10 from 3 he shot, and made 5 of 7 free throws to score 32 points. So people, I know lots in Laker Nation sort of sarcastically refer to Austin Reaves as Hillbilly Kobe. Well, I mean, you can knock the hillbilly off and say this was at least Kobe-esque. Seriously, this is legit. These aren't fraudulent, padded numbers. This is where you say, I see you. You're a star. So I look, let's go big picture, then little picture. Look, big picture. Who are the greatest undrafted NBA players ever? Jeremy Lin had that sensational run with the Knicks that one year. And then he kind of bounced around, played 9 years. He was a good player, averaged 12, 7, and 4. Not bad, but no. Avery Johnson, I know him. I love him. Point guard for the Spurs for a while. Nice player, but just a pure point. Averaged 8, 2, and 6. Okay. Alex Caruso, defensive ace specialist, has been kind of a driving force leadership-wise of the Oklahoma City Thunder, but Austin Reaves versus Alex Caruso, the ex-Laker. They used to say the Caruso out here in L.A. Man, I'm taking Austin Reaves on offensive firepower. And by the way, Austin has been criticized some for his defense, as has LeBron, as has Luka. But Austin Reaves will scratch and claw on defense. He's quicker than you give him credit for, or he couldn't create the shots that he creates. He fights hard on defense, and he will give you a couple of steals a game on defense. And then speaking of defensive aces, my friend Bruce Bowen, Spur, defensive ace, averaged 6, 3, and 1 for his career, but boy, he could take anybody, Kobe even, and just bother him, just irritate him. Loved him as a defender, but Austin Reaves, no. Here's a good one, Fred VanVleet. You know, of this whole list I'm giving you, probably the best player on this list. He's averaged 15, 3, and 6 for his career. You know, not bad. He's been a 37% three-point shooter, but not a sniper. Not somebody you can count on, depend on from three. That was a problem with the Rockets last year. I know he's hurt this year. God bless him. Hope he returns quickly. But he's more pure point leader. Give you that. I'll take Austin Reaves. I just will. J.J. Barea, undrafted igniter off the bench, was just spectacular. Beyond Vinnie Johnson as a microwave off the bench. But I'll still take Austin Reaves. Udonis Haslem is revered in Miami for his leadership, his toughness, mindset, culture making. Averaged 8, 7, and 1. I don't know. Give me Austin Reaves. John Starks, great Nick, tough defensive specialist. Averaged 13, 5, and 4. Give me Austin Reaves. Come on. Ben Wallace, the great Ben Wallace, is in the Hall of Fame for shot blocking and defensive prowess. Averaged 6, 10, and 1. Shot only 42% from the floor as a big guy. Just had no offense to him at all. I'll take Austin Reaves' offense over all that defense and shot blocking and rebounding. So those are the top. I just gave it to you. Austin Reaves is in another league from all these great undrafted NBA stars. They all became, in their own right, stars doing specialty stuff. They all had a specialty. Austin Reaves is he's a two-guard scorer. I mean, you just can't find it. They don't grow on Southern California palm trees out here. So we look at his draft, 2021 draft. Cade Cunningham went first. Cade's been really good. This is just me. I like Jalen Green slightly over Cade Cunningham. Watched him a lot at Oklahoma State. Cade's been better than I thought. Jalen Green got stuck with Ime, and I love Ime, but Ime did not love Jalen Green and doghoused him regularly. But you saw the explosive talent in Jalen Green, and I'm holding out final conclusions on him because I want to see him out from under thumb in Phoenix this year. I just want to see what starts to happen to Jalen Green in Phoenix. So it was between those two who would go. One, and Cade has been very good, 22, 5, and 7. And then Evan Mobley, I can't argue. He made an all-star team. He's Defensive Player of the Year. He's 16, 9, 3, and 2 blocks. Okay, so I'll give you him, and I'm a big Şengün fan. Just a big fan of Şengün. 16, 9, and 4. Tough, physical, smart, cagey. I give you that. So let's just say at the top of the draft, I go ahead and give you Cade Cunningham, and I give you Mobley, and I give you Şengün at the top of the 2021 draft. Jury out on Jalen Green, Franz Wagner, Scotty Barnes, 17, 8, and 5, Rookie of the Year All-Star team. I don't know, man. I don't know. I've watched him a lot. He's a nice player. I don't know. I would be tempted to take Austin Reaves. I just would. And over Franz Wagner, definitely I would take him. So here's my point. This is all what's going to be on a redraft at the top of the draft. Okay, so if I give you Cade and Evan Mobley and Şengün, I'll throw in Jalen just because I believe in his explosive athletic ability. Franz Wagner can just go off, just light it up. Scotty Barnes. Okay, what if I give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? What if I give you 6? 7th is going to be Austin Reaves. I could easily talk myself into making him a top 5 pick in that draft right here, right now. It's hard to gauge and rank Austin Reaves because he's sacrificing so much to play alongside 2 of the all-time greatest scorers. One is obviously the all-time greatest scorer, and 2 of the greatest passers ever. He is sacrificing, and yet last year he goes 25-6, averaged 20 a game, 5 rebounds and 6 assists, having to sacrifice to the egos and the ball hogging of those 2 players who share the backcourt, or he shares the backcourt with. My God. I mean, look harder at this and you say, Austin Reaves is a star stuck in the shadows of the Lakers. If he were playing in Sacramento or Portland, Phoenix, I mean, he'd be an all-star. He'd make the all-star team several years in a row because he's stronger than he looks. He's quicker than he looks. And he's a white guy from a little tiny town in Arkansas. That's impossible. It reminds me on the NFL level of something we've talked about this week on Arena Gridiron. You can find it on the Arena YouTube channel, but it's an NFL show, so we've talked about, I brought it up, Cooper DeJean is going to make the Pro Bowl as a cornerback, and no white cornerback has made a Pro Bowl, because there haven't been many, if any, since Jason Sehorn in 1996, so we're 30 years between white cornerback Pro Bowlers, and Cooper DeJean came from this tiny little farming community in Iowa, born in South Dakota, and played at the lowest sort of high school level where he dominated, as you would expect, as a quarterback. He became the Adidas National Player of the Year. Went to Iowa. It's funny, Caitlin Clark is from Iowa, a little white girl who's dominating WNBA. I don't know. Maybe it's something in the water in Iowa because Riley Moss is starting as a white player at cornerback for the Denver Broncos. And my guy Aqib Talib on Arena Gridiron keeps saying he can cover even better than Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean is a ball hawk. He picked off Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl last year. And every time I look up, he's in the middle of a play, Cooper DeJean, blowing it up, tackling, separating receivers from football. It's a 1,000,000,000 shot from a tiny little town to becoming a white Pro Bowl cornerback, from a tiny little town in Arkansas, becoming what I think is an all-star player. Until he goes somewhere else, he's not going to be able to become an all-star because of Luka and LeBron. I don't know. Is anybody noticing any of this but me? I'm just here. I drive home the point. Show me another undrafted NBA player, former player, who's more successful than Austin Reaves has been successful. Show me more firepower. Show me more talent. Show me another white player as a 2-guard. I'm talking about American white players. As a 2-guard, American grown and raised. As a 2-guard, show me somebody better than Austin Reaves.